Yeah, man, it's your boy Arthur once again, and welcome back to another video. And today's video is entitled "You Cannot Cheat the System." You cannot fucking cheat the system. What do I mean? I mean, usually I always talk about trying, as individual, we try to take shortcuts in some things, right? But shortcuts really will never get you anywhere, man. That's the real truth about things. Many people won't tell you. It will get you nowhere. At times, we as individuals, as men especially, we know what we have to do. But trying to cheat the system, right? And cheating the system is not always just about taking shortcuts, but mostly is, right? Majority of the time, people are trying to take shortcuts, right? But really, it's all about trying to cut corners and manipulating and trying to do things that you have to work on. You have to work on some things, but then you want it quick, fast, without putting any effort or putting enough work on it or real work on it just to get it. So this is just a warning to probably the youngins out there. Be cautious, right? The thing is, sometimes you do not intend to be that way. You do not intend to take shortcuts, but people will lure you in, right? People will lure you in because they see your potential, or they see your grind, or they see your motivation. So they want to take you off rail, get you off rail, get you off your square. So it might trick you to say, hey, listen, man, you can do this. Why do that? That will take a long time. And you know for a fact that the thing that may take longer, or the route that may take longer, is the right way, and it will get you in right places. But the fact that is you're impatient, right? And people will play on that you're impatient on some things, that you feel like you have to be to cut corners and do things that are necessary to try and beat the system. Listen, man, no matter what you do, no matter who you hear, you cannot beat the system. And the best thing, or what I could advise, right, is you have to work, or you can only work with the system. Now, how you work with the system is how smart you can be, right? And in fact, it's what you can give to the system. System needs value. System needs certain characteristics. System needs you to have or take responsibilities of sort. Any sort of responsibilities that will actually move that needle forward, right? Whatever system, whatever government, whatever system that's placed, whatever work, whatever institution, all those things you need to work with. You cannot beat it, right? Yeah, I know we hear a lot of stories about people getting this money, getting that money, getting Bitcoin money. But at the end of the day, man, most of them just don't end up, right? Don't end up doing anything of significant, or they just really they really get lost. So if you're trying to get shortcuts out of life, you're gonna get lost. So that's the message for today, man. You can't beat the system, you have to work with it. Now, this still goes to the fact that there'll always be self-improvement, and there has to be self-improvement, and that's one of my always what I advocate and preach. There has to be some sort of self-improvement. Even if you have those accolades, even if you have that degree, those masters, whatever you have, you still have to improve on certain things so that the system can actually have use of you. You have to be useful to the system. Now, the problem is, okay, now, if you've decided, man, I know I'm not going to be useful to the system, I'm just going to chill and try and do my own thing, right? That's cool, but you're not going to go far. But if you're the type that thinks that you can beat the system by not putting in anything in it, and then you're gonna just draw, just like having an account, a bank account, where you're not or not having anything in it, but you're trying to draw, and then you're gonna, at least an account you can overdraw, right? Have an overdraw and have an overdraft and shit like that. But within the system, you cannot do that. You cannot put nothing into it and get something out of it, right? You're gonna get chaos if you're gonna try and cut corners and do shit like that. You're gonna get chaos and nothing, or you're gonna get yourself into illegal shit. You're gonna get yourself into jail and all sort of nonsense chaos, right? Now, when I say you be smart, try and get some hacks. Now, hacks are things that make things or make your journey or your path simpler, right? It simplifies things. It makes things easier for you, right? But in the easier, making things easy for you is not the fact. It's not just being easy driven, right? You're putting in the work, but you're finding ways to simplify things and be more proficient at it, so that you do not have to waste time, you do not have to waste resources and energy. You're trying to be very sufficient in your ways, right? And be at the same time being effective, right? But at the same time, you're not trying to cut all sort of corners, right? You're not trying to cut corners, right? What you're trying to do is make things very effective and efficient for you, so that you're able to get to the goals that you want to get to. So the system's already laid out, right? Whatever journey that you have or you have undertaken or you want to undertake, right? Make sure that you have goals, you have plans, you have a strategy. Most people end up trying to cut corners and doing all sort of nonsense because they do not have a plan. They're not consistent in what they're trying to create. They're not doing the necessary things that they have to do on a consistent basis. So they end up trying to now beat the system, which they cannot, because you're not smarter than the system, right? You may be somewhat knowledgeable, right? But the way things are set up, and it's not just government system, institutions, it's not just that, or families, or whatever. It's the universe itself, the way it's set up. You cannot go out there and just create and get something for nothing. I will say this though, it's possible. It is possible, right? People do it. However, it's not sustainable. That thing can never be sustainable because you cannot get something which you're not ready for or you have not worked for, right? We see people getting rich, we see people getting all sorts of rewards in life, right? And we're thinking, okay, he's done that. But at the end of the day, those people are just trying to beat the system, and it always backfires, right? So have a plan, have a strategy, have things that you put in place that okay, this is what I'll be doing so to get to where I want to be, right, in a certain time frame or something like that. Learn from those who are actually doing the necessary work, right? Learn from those who are putting in the necessary work. Otherwise, if you're not learning from the right people, what will happen is that you're gonna get lost. Pick those who give out wisdom very carefully. Pick your source of wisdom carefully, because at the end of the day, if you just listen to just about anyone, that's how you get caught up in nonsense, or you're gonna get confused and get caught up in chaos, because not everyone is for you, or you can't listen to everyone, right? Some things are just too major for you to understand, so you need people who can break it down for you. Get people who can advise you proper, not just about anyone. And usually just get people who you resonate with. Don't just listen to someone because he looks good, he sounds good, or he looks smart. No, just be discerning. This comes with age and shit, I know that, but be much more discerning, be much more, use your brain more, so that you can discern what's right from wrong. Sometimes what seems right is not right for you. It seems right, but it's not right for you. Right? looks like a good path, but it's not a path that you will be able to succeed in, right? So you need to gather proper information and proper knowledge to know where and how you're going to maneuver in this world without getting caught up. Because as a man, especially the younging out there, you don't want to get caught up in all sort of nonsense. Trust me, you have your whole life ahead of you. Why would you want to get caught up in all sort of nonsense and chaos and things that will cut your future short and make you give up on your future? You don't do that. So remember, the system is already set up. All you have to do is find how you can create value from it. Work on that. It always take time, man. You have to work on yourself. I always say know thyself. Once you know thyself, at least you know what you can give. What are the things you can give out there that will be of value? And then you have to use your wits and smarts how to can monetize that. But in the meantime, you have to know how you can actually progress and expound on the things that you know and that you have. The system can only work with what you have. And the more you give to it, the more you're going to get. You cannot snatch something from the system just for yourself and think that you're going to get away with it, thinking that you're smart about things. Right? I see this over and over, but people who try and cut corners always end up in the same place. Cutting corners, like one of Nas's songs, he said something to this fact that you're just hustling backwards. Trying to cut corners, you're just hustling backwards. That's it. You think you're moving forward because there's some things that you are acquiring. You think you're moving forward because there's some things that you have, and especially money and materialistic things. But you're forfeiting so much. And this is why I'm saying you can't beat the system. You have to move within the trail, within the track, within your square, so that you learn a lot from whatever you're trying to achieve. You learn so much from those failures. You learn a lot from those from the chaotic things that come to you when you're in that very same consistent place, right? Because what you're trying to do is create a path. What you're trying to do is create a path that is that will be sustainable in the long run for you. You don't want to create a path that at the end of the day you're going to regret. At the end of the day you'll be saying, what the fuck am I doing here? How did I get here? So work with the system. Remember, you cannot really you can't escape you can't cut corners and escape the system, right? Or take advantage of the system. You're going to get favors here and there, no doubt, but that's your work ethics, on how your relations are. That's why you have to work on yourself, because working on yourself means that you're still working on your relations, so that you know how you can maneuver the system. Develop yourself to the best version of yourself, so that the system can now recognize you as someone who is valuable. And before I sign out, make sure that you value yourself. These days, men do not value themselves. They value, like I usually say, they value women or every other person besides themselves. Love yourself. Have that self-love. Once you have self-love, then the system will now recognize you as someone who is at least bound to be someone, while you're still hustling and putting in the necessary work that will help you achieve your purpose. So before just to wrap up, make sure that you are working on yourself. Remember that you cannot really beat the system or go around the system. The best strategy is to work with the system. See where you have leverage. See where you can put your input into the system, and then take advantage of it and make sure that it rewards you accordingly, right? And once that reward comes in, then at least now you're working with the system properly, and it will not throw you off. The system will now accept you as who you are because you've shown value and you're creating value. And it's been your boy Alfred here. Till next time, I hope that was really cool and you understood it. Peace.